Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Thursday, the 2nd of September. This is exciting. Yesterday morning I watched the kids getting ready to go off to school, and the neighborhood kids across the street, their mom was taking their sort of first day of school pictures on the front porch. And I could just imagine the stair-stepping of one from every year. Their daughter looks like she's probably about grade 7 or 8, and their son looks like he's probably about grade 4 or 5. It's kind of exciting. And it got me thinking about excitement and what fires us up. On Tuesday night, I went to my first board meeting with the Wainwright Military Family Resource Center. So I need to do something that's not churchland. I need to do something that is outside of my job. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but like everything, your work that you do for your paycheck, or the thing, even if it's your vocation and is less about paycheck and more about just serving God, we need things that take us out of that headspace or that heart space or just the workspace once in a while. We need something, a hobby or some way that we can give back to the community in a way that also gives back to us. And for me, volunteering is very important. And I haven't been able to do that in a while because of COVID and moving and things like that. But I finally was able to get involved with the board of directors, the MFRC, the Military Family Resource Center at the base at Wainwright. I've done that before. I was heavily involved in Borden when we were there. I was a member of the board and then vice president and then president. And here I am a member of the board of directors and really looking forward to it. And we had a great meeting last night. Just a few people were able to show up, but there was this incredible sense, well, first of all, there's an incredible sense of trepidation on my part. I am an introvert. I don't like going into new places where I have to be, forward. And I didn't know anybody in the room, and I'd only spoken to the executive director of the MFRC on the phone. I think I met her once before and wouldn't know her, on the street. And we're all wearing masks, of course, inside the building. So it's like you walk in, it's like a bunch of people with masks on. You wouldn't know if you knew them anyway. And so I was nervous. I'm always nervous in situations like that. But it didn't take very long before I took a few deep breaths and said a quick prayer. Okay, God, this isn't about me. This is about service to the community. Help me to remember that. And I was able to just relax and listen and learn. And the costs, I think this is for chief of staff, but he's a member of the military who is the person who is the military person who connects with the board of directors, and he's sort of responsible for the base. He had a million questions to ask, and they were brilliant because they were all questions that I was wondering and didn't know how to articulate and was a bit nervous about asking, and he just fired them out and we got lots of information. But it also loosened everything up, and we were able to relax and respond to one another. And I was able to come out of my shell. I was able to ask questions and make suggestions and talk about hopes and dreams, and really got fired up and came home just wanting to, I was home at 9:15, just like blah, 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 wanting to talk Rob's ear off about everything that was going on. And of course, he loves me, but not that much. He doesn't want to hear it 9:30 at night, all the stuff that's happening from where he works, because that's his workplace, the base. So, but it felt good because it's been a really long time since I have been able to volunteer in some capacity for something that fires me up, something that really, really pulls out the best in me and makes me want to serve other people and help people. Because I do that for my work, but it's nice to do it for something where I'm not the boss or I'm not the one responsible, but I'm the person who's part of the cog. I'm one of the cogs in the machine. I'm helping to make it happen rather than having the responsibility of having it happen. And it just occurred to me that, coming back to school, September is that sort of time when people are regrouping after the summer and they're picking it up, and committees get back together and community groups start working again. And we sort of use September as a new school year, even when we're not in school. And there's sort of a sense of ramping back up. And I was really, really happy that my ramping back up coincided with the beginning of the school year, because I've always enjoyed it. I always look forward to that first day of school, new textbooks and homework. And I always wanted homework the first weekend. I was crazy, but that first week of school was like the most exciting thing for me. Brand new writing pads and pens and pencils and textbooks and homework. It was just amazing. But I never got rid of that. And so this week, watching the kids go back to school and knowing that this is the ramping up time, it was such a great feeling to know that I have something that I can get excited about that is purely just on my off time. But it also made me start thinking about the fact that God calls us to do more than be unidimensional, one-dimensional. I believe everyone has a vocation, that God has called us and given us a gift, if not more than one gift, something that we can share, something that we can give to the community, something that fills us up and helps us to fulfill the role God has called us to fill. That's our vocation. But God doesn't say, okay, you're going to live your vocation 24 hours a day. I think God says, okay, that's your vocation, but you need to balance that out with something else. You know, if you're out and about and doing things all the time, you need a little bit of time to slow down, be by yourself, maybe read a book or have a nap, all things in balance. Well, I think that we're all called to find those multiple things that we're called to do. One of them is the way that we serve God with the gifts we're given. But in the other hours of our lives, how else does God call us to serve? Maybe in completely different ways and in completely different, I don't know what the word is, but a completely different manifestation of a different gift we've been given or a different call in our life, a secondary call. For me, my call is to be a priest, to go out and visit people. And by the way, I am so glad that I am now able to go visit people. I have got some really tremendous parishioners at St. Mary's and St. Thomas, and I'm finally able to go out and have a cup of coffee or a lemonade or something and sit with them and just chat and get to know them. And it's just such an incredible gift. So that's my primary vocation. But what might my secondary vocation, so to speak, be? The thing that's my hobby, or the thing that keeps me fired up and passionate. And I think it is it is contributing to that other part of my life. By day I am Rachel the priest. The rest of the time I am the padre's wife. I am a military spouse. And because I work full time, I can't be a military spouse full time, contributing all the time as a volunteer. But I can take some time to exercise that part of my life, to be with other people who get what it is to be a military spouse and member. We all need that. We all need to meet people and hang out with people who are like us, who have something in common. And I think maybe that's my second manifestation of my vocation. I am called to, first and foremost, to be Rachel the priest. And then secondly, I'm also called to be Rachel, Rob's wife, who is a military spouse and has insights and gifts to share that way. So where are your gifts and insights? What are the ways that you both celebrate the gifts God has given you through your primary vocation? And what about the gifts God has given you through your secondary vocation, or your hobby, or your volunteering, or those things that give you energy and excitement and get you fired up when you're not doing that thing that you do that defines who you are most of the time? If you're not sure, give it some thought, give it some prayer. Maybe you haven't found it yet, or maybe you're in a time of life where you need to find a different one. God will provide that for you. You just have to ask. And if you are already in it, why don't you leave a comment in my Facebook or YouTube and let me know what you're doing? What is your primary and secondary vocation? What is it that fires you up both day and night and on weekends? Have a wonderful day. Have an incredible evening. And whatever you do, I pray that you will find yourself feeling satisfied and excited about the life that you're living. Have a great day, and God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.